Horace Skip Lamb, correct?
Correct.
And you are 71 years old today.
71 years old, lived in Cook County since 1954, so I should qualify.
Okay. Have your views on politics been shaped by your environment?
Absolutely.
Do you think that's how people's political views get shaped?
In most cases,
Yeah.
sure, it's by their history, it's how they were raised, it's what circumstances that they had to deal with their own life situations, so their views on politics are more than likely relative to what they were able to accomplish within their communities. And so that certainly is something that I've been influenced by. Obviously, my family's been here only since the 20s, which really isn't that long on the scale of things, especially in most countries. But in this country, it's pretty good. And so my great uncle was here, my father was here. Obviously, I'm here. We were, all of us, in different periods at other communities, but ended up here for substantial periods of time.
Do you think that your views are more shaped by your family or your friends?
Well, I think my original views are more shaped by my family because, number one, when I was growing up, I lived in central Minnesota, but then when I moved to Schroeder, I still had the same interests, which a lot of them were school and outdoors and Boy Scouts and church and then we moved to the resort, so all of a sudden now I'm involved in a resort and taking care of people and helping with cabins and running a store, so helping my dad run a store. And so, and this is we're sitting by the desk that my great uncle used to have, and this was his roll top desk that was in the store that you see on the board. And his first store was just basically a one-room store, and then it evolved into the store that we're in now, which is the Heritage Center. The first store that he built burned down in the late 20s, and then he rebuilt the store that we're sitting in, but it was converted to a museum and a historical center in 2000. So my political views were more than likely shaped by all the people that lived and came into this store every day that I sold soda to, or gloves or groceries or whatever they needed year round. And then, of course, in the summertime, we had a lot of tourists that came in. So then we were taking care of the tourists. And then later on, we did the ore boats, so then we had all kinds of sailors that came in because Taconite Harbor was built when I moved here. And that was a power plant and a loading dock for taconite, and so we would have 3 boats a day and 100 sailors running around Schroeder.
Do you think that your views have changed radically throughout your lifetime?
I don't think too radically, no. No, because obviously I was certainly open to new ideas. I was open to different kinds of people that came in every day from all walks of life, so I expected everyone to kind of get the same treatment regardless of who they were. Most of them just wanted the same thing: their mail, their gloves, their stuff that they were going to buy, their cabin to stay in. So what I wanted to do was, I've always been involved in my community. So first of all, I was kind of immersed in it, and then obviously I served in it on various boards and various kinds of civic positions, as well as, having to make a living and doing the work that goes with either a store or a business or a resort.
Do you think that the popular new forms of technology have changed our country for the better or for the worse?
Well, it's definitely changed it for the better. Number one, it's more information, it's more education. People have a much bigger pipeline to what they need to know. I mean, we're kind of in the information society now, and without technology, we wouldn't be able to do information. So, you know, with broadband coming here, we're looking for lots of improvements. Tourism has to have broadband and information technology. We have to supply the same things as every other tourist area, whether they're in Minneapolis and St. Paul or whether they're in wherever, Chicago or Schroeder. And so, yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to actually have to learn how to run a digital camera and a smartphone. Can't wait. I'm hanging on to my flip phone now because I still know how to use it.
Okay, so you said when you first came here, Cook County and Grand Marais were more industrial, right?
When I moved here, there were two reasons that we moved here, and that was because they were building Taconic Harbor, which was a power plant, a coal generating power plant, and it was built so that it could serve the Iron Range and mine the ore that came out of White Lakes, and then they built a loading dock for taconite, and they shipped 10 million tons here a year. So that was a big industrial base. Plus there was a lot of woods products industry here. We had 3 or 4 sawmills around here. We had a couple of truckers. We had some truck shop, repair shops. We had 3 filling stations, a grocery store, a restaurant. There was several mechanics in the area. But you still had tourism, but tourism didn't last as long. It would start about now, around Memorial Day, and it would end more or less the first part of September, and then we'd have a few weekends, and then tourism season was over. Versus now, you've got tourism season that basically is year-round. You certainly have slow periods now and in November, but there's demand now for tourism pretty much year-round, and especially with Lake Superior.
So, do you think you personally liked the county more then as industrial focused or now as tourism focused?
Well, I personally like the county the way it used to be because obviously I could do more things that I wanted to do. As far as what I felt was going on, yes, I would like to see a little better base of industry. It doesn't necessarily have to be taconite, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a power plant. Those are the things that we had in the past. Obviously, we still do have a woods products industry, but it would be nice if there were a diversity of economic employers. If you have all your employers in just the tourism basket, you have a tendency to get over specialized in tourism. If you have a more of a diverse kind of economy, it gives people more opportunities. With broadband coming, I think we're going to get some of those information technology opportunities. I think that with some of the new developments in sustainable kinds of businesses, we're going to see that. We're a green tourism economy up here. And the green industry itself is a lot bigger than just tourism. And with Lake Superior kind of at our doorstep, I think that there's a lot of people that would really like to live here if they could make a living here. And so those areas I think will get expanded. At the moment, it's good that we still do have some kind of industrial base. The big industrial base, I think, is like Hedstrom's Lumber and Taconite Power Plant, and those are still functioning pretty well. Obviously, there will be some changes in those, but once again, once they're here, they can update, they can modernize, they can install the kinds of equipment that they need. I think that Cook County has a great opportunity because we can actually work on the power plant and figure out how to have clean coal power, because obviously we've got dozens of countries that are just burning coal without any kind of clean energy mandates or regulations. And same with the woods products industry. We've got a great forest here. We just have to be able to find a market where it's needed. Right now, we got a surplus of wood fiber product, and we need to figure out how we get that to market. And because we're located where we are, it's difficult, but I think we'll figure it out. If we give these kids a good education and do these interviews, maybe they'll come up with something that we haven't thought of.